Yo, it's Joe Sketch, and how's everybody doing? Me? I'm hyped. So hyped. It's nearly EU finals time, and in celebration and to catch anyone up with the event, I'll be taking today to look at the end of the season and the teams attending. Firstly, a quick shout out to the lads who qualified through the open circuit to relegation. MDR2, now Bittersweet, consisting of a French duo, Shady and Solar. Do you remember that ninja into a double kill I got on U2 Online? No? Well, to be fair, I only do because I captured it. Warlord and Anima, who want to incite revenge on his former team, VWS. They cruise through the open circuit. The other team? Egoed, consisting of Quad, Simplay, Zuh and Morga. I always believed in you, Morga. Both of these teams, solid contenders. They will face off against Prophecy. The Bucks had a long history where their team didn't pick up a win this season, 0-10. It's tricky for them to bounce back, but LAN has another story. To complete this team is Vexus, who's no stranger to the open circuit, and Flames, who's the glue keeping this abstract masterpiece together. VWS, probably in my books are favourites, 3-7 in the league, but easily worthy of a place in Pro League next season. Lonnie, Ramirez, Chalky and Riots are all veterans in the EU scene. It's tough for me to give my predictions, as Prophecy of a team I supported, but I'm going to have to hope my predictions are wrong, as I'm going with VWS and Bittersweet to qualify for next year's Pro League. The finals. 4 make the trip to Leicester. The team that has to travel longest by far is the French side Pulse. 4-6 in the league, they are the underdogs going into this event. But I sure for one will love to see the French at LAN. They are based around their flair player SLG. I describe their team as like a cheesecake. The cheese bit is good, but it needs a biscuit base to make it amazing. Pulse's biscuit base is Cali, Punisher and Fragger. They may not be favourites, but ne sous-estimez pas le français. I'm so sorry for that attempt at a French accent. Infused make the trip to finals for the second time. Last time out they finished 4th. Hoping to get a better result this time is Flux, Batchford and the return of Doodle, Infused Staples, along with Kimbo, the former Season 1 winner, with Fabi. Sets out to make an example of why he shouldn't have been dropped. Their team's more like Eton Mess. Organised chaos is the best kind of chaos. Infused are the only team to beat Fabi, but I think their biggest challenge will be in Game 1 vs Vibe. If they win, I could see them in the Grand Finals. Vibe came into Summer Finals as 4th seed. They took 3rd place and have been improving ever since. 2nd this season, albeit joint with Infused. They have the better head-to-head and are playing against them in the first game is a must-win in my opinion. Septic, the man who bleeds Vibe colours. Snipe Drone, the silent assassin. Cristola, the loud assassin, equally as effective though. And Snakey, who hopefully won't lag out on LAN. You laugh, but with Snakey anything's possible. Are the players who make up the squad. Vibe are your treacle pudding. Bland at first glance, but when you break it down, the real flavour comes out. If Infused are Halo 2 straight ripping, Vibe are Carbon, and we all know who got the better of one another back in the day. Fabi round up our teams, and the EU God Squad haven't earned their nicknames by losing, that's for sure. 23 Pro League matches, including Season 1 finals, and they've lost once to Infused. Fabi come in as favourites, and were the only team to play in America at HCS Las Vegas, baby. If you want to see their match breakdowns for the event, check out my video on the whole tournament in the description below. But they finished a respectable 7th to 8th, which shows the EU progress trying to catch up with the Americans. Their roster consists of Jimbo, everyone knows him. Not a big fan of American cereal though. Mose, pretty much a reason I'm scared to play online when I see he's searching. Respectful, the kid puts up numbers like he's typing on a calculator. And to Foxy, who like the hairband for his man bun, ties everything together. I'd say they're like a Victoria sponge cake. Show me someone who doesn't rate one, and I'll say they're lying. So who's your pick? Cheesecake, Eton Mess, Treacle Pudding, or Victoria Sponge? Right, enough of cooking with Joe Sketch. Let's recap Week 5, the penultimate week of the Pro League. Going into it, Fab needed 2 wins to 100% confirm their number 1 seed, and Infuse and Vibe were level in 2nd, but they still had to play each other. VWS Gaming were just above the drop with 3-5, and Pulse, who had 2-6, needed them to lose both their matches and have themselves win both to qualify. They played each other on day 1. Prophecy already guaranteed relegation, they were playing for pride. First up, Infuse vs Prophecy. Bard started for Prophecy as Buck 20's train was late, but no change in the result. 3-0 CTF Collie to Infused. They went 1-0 up in the series. A decent start by Prophecy in the game, but Infused ran away with it. Buck 20 comes back, lags a lot, and Breadsticks 1 for 13 in Slayer Truth. Holy shit, I was sat there watching the kill feed with fingers crossed I'd see his name appear. In his defence, he was definitely lagging. Infused took game 2, 50-23. The Rig Strongholds was game 3. Vexus ninjas Kimbo, but Infused picked up the win, 100-8. 39 kills of them, 22 for Prophecy. In my notes, the whole series was, in quote, Prophecy start well but lose control and never won it back. Feels Prophecy, man. Infused go on a 7-win streak, 3-0 the series score. Next we saw Giants Fabi vs Vibe. Infused just went into second with their win over Prophecy. If Vibe won, 3 teams would go into the final day joint on points, which would have been mental. Jimbo was not streaming because he wanted to practice, and that's a scary thing for Vibe. CTF Coliseum was up first. Vibe 8 for 1 in CTF going into this game, and wham bam thank you man, they took the lead. Snipe Drone with a great play, waiting 7 to 8 seconds before pulling. Vibe 1-0 up. Fabi answered back, they got rid of the lingering bad smell, but Snipe Drone again started making plays. He pulled Vibe's second flag and it was cleaned up by Septic. The lead didn't last long, a quick cap back from Fabi tied the game at 2-2. Next cap wins. A great touch for Respectful won them the game, with Cristola on Re, and instead of going for the kill he got the touch and they take the game 3-2 and go 1-0 up in the series. 25 kills from Snipe Drone, star player for Vibe, but they were outslayed pretty heavily. Game 2 was True Slayer. Fabi started well, gaining early control, but Vibe stuck in it. 14-13 when Vibe took the lead. Snaky doing work with Camo, and this was bad news bears for Fabi. Vibe didn't have a home base, but they were setting up furniture like they were in IKEA. Snaky killed himself at 36-27, walks into his own splinter. Come on, we've all been there before. This sparked a bit of a comeback for Fabi, 46-45, 47-47, but Vibe clutched up and won, 50-47. 16 assists for Snaky and 12 kills. Holy cow, what a barn burner. It was definitely a slobber knocker of a series. Feels like half my script is just quoting the casters. Eden Strongholds was up next. Vibe's chink in their armour was Strongholds. It would be 41-0 before Vibe took point. But with a Snipe Drone wingman and total control for Vibe, they came back 45-41. It wasn't enough to see Vibe through, as the second half was all Fabi. Jimbo, OS, Rockets and a double kill, no chance. Fabi won 100-54. They went 2-0 up in the series. Truth CTF was game 4 and no contest. Fabi won 3-0 and took the series 3-1. This meant that Fabi would claim first seed for finals as Vibe couldn't catch them and Infused had a worse head-to-head with them. The last game of the night was massive. Pulse took on VWS and the winner pretty much guaranteed their place at finals. VWS on 3 for 5 and Pulse on 2 for 6, but head-to-head was in Pulse's favour and VWS had to play Fabi in day 2. In my notes, which I made live, I said my money's on Pulse. Good bet, Joe. Good bet. The Rig Strongholds kicked things off. It was an early lead for VWS, but Pulse switched it around with a triple cap. 55 uncontested points. Despite a bit of control for VWS, Pulse pulled the lead back to 80-17. Lunny got a reversal double kill and VWS took total control for 4 seconds. Pulse in return grabbed their own free cap plots and won 100-22. SLG 14 kills, Riots 2. Eden Slayer was game 2. VWS took an early lead, just like in game 1, but SLG started ripping faces. With the game tied at 12-12, SLG gets a massive ground pound to keep things level. Going into the mid-20s, it was still even. VWS gained control late on after some unanswered kills from Pulse. They grabbed Rockets and brought it back to 42-40 to Pulse. 2 snipes of VWS, but they couldn't get it going. A great double from Cali put the pressure onto VWS, and Pulse gained full confidence, 50-43, and 1 win away from a 90% chance of going to finals. Another note from my former self watching this game. SLG is my favourite player to watch. I would love to see a French team at finals. The French Epsilon. No idea what I was on about with the French Epsilon, but I agree with the first bit. Game 3, Fathom CTF. After a trade of clutch kills between teams and a Ramirez flag carrier wingman, Cali caught Ramirez out of position, got the return and Pulse 1-0. The game was at a stalemate, and Chalky had 21 kills but his team was still down. With both flags out and 2 minutes left on the clock, Pulse were like locusts flying across the map trying to get a touch or return. But it was VWS who came out on top and they tied the game with 1 minute 40 left, 1-1. Digging deep, we're going into overtime! If you get that reference, you're my kind of person. Cali missed a flag cap and it was a scary moment for Pulse, but they managed to get it to 2-1. It was all over VWS, back of the net, 3-0 in the series and 3-1 to Pulse in the game. 34 kills for SLG. Sweet Christmas, that was a cracker of a game. After day 1, Fabi guaranteed themselves first spot. Infused would play Vibe for second on the final day, as a win for Vibe would mean they would go ahead of Infused because of head-to-head results. Pulse had almost guaranteed finals, they only needed to beat 0-9 Prophecy. For VWS to qualify, they needed to beat Fabi and for Pulse to lose to Prophecy. In day 2, the final day of the Pro League, Fabi would play VWS first. Could VWS do the impossible? A hyped up VWS would have made a great series, but there was nothing. A quick clean 3-0 for Fabi in true CTF saw what little hype VWS had deflate. Plaza Slayer saw 2 Foxy working leg day. A few squats here and there, maybe on some people's faces. 23-3, and the game became a mess about. VWS played really unprofessionally in this game, but to be fair to them, they felt like they were already defeated. At least they all had kills on the board, until Riot's betrayed Ramirez. No on Gooses though, 50-12 your final score. This was a meat platter. VWS had given up. I was with you, Wonderboy. I would have gotten a VWS tattoo if the reverse sweep came in as well. Luckily, it didn't. Strongholds Plaza did see a bit of fire from the VWS lads, but it ended 131-0. Chalky on Cyan team, but he didn't score any points. 3-0 Fabi in the series, VWS end in relegation. Pulse had already qualified, so their game versus Prophecy was a send-off. The maps in the rotation for this series saw Prophecy have a record of 0-14 on them. But when you only have 3 map wins, then that's destined to happen. I had my tweet shown on stream, but Wonderboy rejected it. Why, Harry? Why? Prophecy made a game out of CTF Coliseum, but Pulse won 3-0. The Rig Slayer was the same, a bit of a fight, but a relatively easy win for Pulse, 50-35. You saying there's still a chance? 100% win-loss for Pulse, 0% for Prophecy in Eden Strongholds. Technically, Prophecy could still win the series, even if they went 99-0 down. But it was all Pulse, 100-23. 3-0 in the series, and Prophecy goes 0-10. They gave their all, never pulled a VWS, so massive respect to them. But unfortunately, that's a record they didn't want to have. Last game of the Pro League was a big one. Vibe versus Infused. Winner would play second for finals. I was rooting for Vibe. Treacle Tart is better than Eton Mess any day. Eden Strongholds was game 1, and Infused started hot. 89 uncontested points to start the game is not too shabby. Vibe got a small foothold, but with last OS going to Infused, they won 100-17. 17 kills for Kimbo, 20 for the whole of Vibe. Game 2, Truth Slayer, Infused grabbed the first set of kills, but then it was all Vibe. 18-8, 25-15, 44-24. Infused made Vibe a little nervous as they went 17-4 late game, but it wasn't enough. Final score, 50-41. Cristola, 18-10. Vibe tied the series, 1-1. We stayed on Truth for Game 3 CTF. Infused started with the momentum they ended with last game. They took the lead 1-0. With 5 minutes left, Vibe get their reward for their constant flag pulls. But Infused answered back and made it 2-1. Snipe Drone started harassing with the sword and the game went to 2-2. Infused started to get slapped around and Vibe took advantage. They all collapsed and grabbed the last flag 3-2. Snipe Drone turned up with 26 kills, but he wasn't the MVP, that went to the sword. Momentum is definitely a thing in Halo. Remember game 1? It was all Vibe this time on Plaza Strongholds, 48-0, and Vibe were putting on a clinic. The game went to 86-10, but Infused said, "We're not done yet, buddy." They stopped Vibe in their tracks. It went to 87 to 77, but Infused just couldn't keep it up. 177 to Vibe, and they win the series 3-1. What a season it has been. Fabi keep up their dominance despite team changes. Cristola goes from finishing 6th to 2nd with his new team Vibe. Infused defeat the unbeatable. Pulse represent the whole of France and defeat some Englishmen. VWS didn't go 0-10, which is a positive. And Prophecy, the kings of the first minute, just wish they could have won every single one of their games in less than 60 seconds. The final table, Fabi first, no surprise, 9-1 with 28 map wins and 5 losses. Vibe gets second, on head-to-head, 7-3 their record, 23 map wins for them with 12 losses. Infused in third, also with 7-3, 22 map wins and 17 losses. Pulse make their first finals, 4-6 their record, 17-19 in maps. VWS top the bottom 2 for relegation, they go 3-7, 12 map wins and 23 losses. And finally, Phil's Prophecy man, 0-10, 3 map wins and 30 losses. For me, I think this is going to be a great finals, and it will be the first live event I would have attended. My money's on Fabi, as is pretty much everyone else's, but in my heart, I'm rooting for Vibe. I hope you've all enjoyed, and if you do, please give this video a like and subscribe. I'm Joe Sketch, don't forget to reach for the stars. Peace.